Hello, welcome back to Monster Train. It's right after the last episode. Not right after. I took a little break. Usually when right after is like within 10 minutes or so. I got up, I walked around a little bit. Not really, but just like stood up for a second. Not really a walk around, more of like a stand and stretch maneuver. You know how it goes. Anyway, I just noticed the weird structure in the background of the title screen here. What is this? What am I looking at right now? I've always just kind of accepted it as, oh yeah, it's like a little city building or something. But where? There's nothing like that. Maybe it's like the votive house in Ring 4, but that'd be a weird thing for them to put on the title screen. Tell me what you think this is, because I have no idea, actually. I'm going to keep my eyes out while we're playing to see if I can see something like this anywhere. Let's go Umbra. We're Penumbra today. Penumbra's okay. I wonder what that building is. I'm gonna actually continue to talk, but I want to go through this real quick. Umbra Hellhorned. Alright. Prismal Dust Molting at Prism Retrieval. Rage Talos, Shadoweater, Diligent Seraph. I'm going to continue to talk a little bit. Not as much since we were just fresh, but I want to scroll through here and just look for something that could be. Like, here's that big worm. That's right, the votive house is gone because of the last Divinity. I forgot about that. Votive house is just gone, dude. That's kind of strange. This is the Crucible, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, a strange start, but I just noticed that thing for the first time and I went, huh, what is that? I wonder if it's like these little portals that the boons and such come out of. Maybe that's like where the last Divinity is. I'll take a look when we get there, if we get there. Am I doing now? I'm doing all right. I've been better. I've been worse. Not doing too terribly. Probably not going to get as much done tonight as I had hoped, but that's okay. I think it'll be fine. Anything I want to tell you? Not really. I got the new Isaac DLC. I was gonna hold off, but I finally picked it up. It's pretty good. It's good to be back to Isaac. Isaac is a game that I've played almost as much as Monster Train. I talked about crossed like 1,000 hours in this game in yesterday's episode, but like put a lot of time in Isaac, almost as much as this game at this point, which is crazy to think because I basically played this game every day for 2 years. How much Isaac did I play in high school? A lot. Well, anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's get to it. I will open with Pyrestone Housing. Yes. Faulty Loader is also pretty good. So, with Umbra Hellhorned, I'm going to play... So, Glutton is good. Don't get me wrong. Glutton is very, very good. This is a strong path. I've talked about this on stream recently, though. I don't really like 3-space champions. I know what you're thinking. Well, if you don't like 3-space, then why are you going to take Trample? Trample's 4-space. It's because Trample you kind of just set and forget. Oh, well, I was going to go back and forth and debate that a little more, but I pushed my hand down to grab the mouse and I accidentally clicked on Monstrous. So here we are. I don't mind it. There's a fun combo we can do that I had almost work out, so I'm down to try it again. Specifically with Hellhorned, we combo Penumbra with Rail Beater, and that works pretty well. We can also pivot to Glutton if we see it. I will take the Divine Prince. Monstrous Penumbra, probably a little worse than he was before, and by probably I mean definitely a little worse than he was before, but I'm down. I'm down to clown with a little Penumbra action here. With Umbra, right now Umbra is the clan that I have the most trouble autopiloting through. Ordering my turns is a little more difficult because I have to autopilot and add in playing Rubble Morsels, or like just Morsels in general first on top 4. I probably won't see Prismal Dust again, so it's fine to just play it. I'm feeling there's a few things that we can do. I'm gonna try and do this strat that I outlined. It's a very simple strategy, molting it by the way, popping off. Other than this, we can just slap Overgorger on basically any viable unit, and that will be winning. Monstrous Penumbra probably does not factor into this run particularly much, though. Like, no matter what you do here, I struggle to see his position in this run being anything other than buys us maybe a round. I wonder if they will do balance changes based around beating the DLC. I'm going to keep my options open and take Making of a Morsel. This Morsel Miner is really, really just always going to be a good pick. I will take Vent here. Plus 10 in Piercing or Extreme Stone Vent here, both fine. I know I said I want to fish for Railbeater, but I don't want to be looking at many other Hellhorned units, so it's going to be more of a marriage of convenience. That's not the correct terminology there. Oh yeah, I talked about this, I think, before on the channel, but Shadoweater is supposedly busted because his Gorge deal damage effect is counted as a strike effect. So if we infuse him with Alpha Fiend, it's just crazy. I'm down to give it a try. I also think that he's probably just okay in general right now. Give him a plus 25. Could go endless molting him, but I'm okay. Oh yeah. So I don't think this has showed up on YouTube yet, Capricious Reflection. I always pick this. I love this artifact. It just adds so much room for comedy. Often it is at my expense, but sometimes it is in my benefit. I really love Capricious Reflection. Definitely one of my favorite things they've added to the game. It's so fun. I'm gonna drop Shadoweater mid-floor with this setup. No morsels turn 1, I'm gonna give Shadoweater a turn to draw morsels. Monster Train. I don't know if I've seen an upcharged? What word am I looking for? Upcharged? I don't know if I've seen an infused. I don't know why that word was so hard for me to find. An infused overcharged apprentice before now. I'm not gonna take this. Not gonna take 8 there. Shadoweater. I am going to take however much damage this enemy does to me? Oh my goodness. Am I okay today? I've targeted the wrong enemy with my ping. It will not end me, but ooh, buddy, I got a leg. Ooh. Deep breath. We gotta fix this. I gotta get my mind right here. This dude does 132 damage. Okay. In this early section of the combat, I can make those sorts of mistakes and it won't just kill me, but starting roughly at Talos, I need to not be misclicking Torch for fun. Double stack Perils of Production. And Umbra Assault with a -1, probably the best take here. Plus 20 in Consume Mind Collapse is also pretty strong though. But keep the morsel option open. Holdover Vent, unplayable Ritual Battle, or Frozen Fortify. I will take the holdover Vent. Oh, Alpha Fiend, what a shame. Quick Crucible Collector, just really awful. Morsel Master is maybe worth taking if I'm gonna go in this Shadoweater line, which it feels like I'm going to. He's 3, Morsel Maker, or Morsel Master is 1. I skipped him recently and I regretted it. He doesn't do a lot, but I'll take him. On a run I had recently, I skipped this man and I regretted it. Show me Alpha Fiend, please. Oh, large stone demon fiend. Ooh. Oh, doesn't Alpha Fiend give +1 space? I think it does. So if this counts as a strike effect, I wonder if he'll get credit for slay effects as well. There's a lot to think about on this run. There's a lot to think about. We're really just going down some strange lines. I'll take Abandoned Stave. We're not going to get energy otherwise, so it's fine. The duplicate here, it is probably making of a morsel. Oh, I can infuse. No, I can't infuse Morsel Master. Never mind. This run, in its current state, looks really bad. 27. Okay. We'll just hope that Shadoweater will out-heal this, as that is what he does, supposedly. And Penumbra goes up here, Train Steward here. Okay. This run looks awful, currently. Like, irredeemably bad. I'm really looking forward to finding something to do here. Do not mind that damage shield, because if I don't think about this in the correct if I don't think about this right, I die here to this boss. I will be killed. So we're gonna think. I think I'm actually planning the whole run around Shadoweater here. Or rather, the combat around Shadoweater. And a little damage shield help, I suppose. Like, he's doing 20 AoE damage and healing for 20 every turn. He's doing something. I do not know what, but he's doing something. I think he's pretty close to having the stat line to kill Talos. Let's see it. I think with that he kills Talos, which is interesting. Does he? He's a 46, 88. Wow. Shadoweater, dude. My god. Wait, look at him go. Wow. I guess get your shadows eaten, Talos. Goodbye. Please show me Alpha Fiend. Don't let me come here for nothing. What is this card? Remove, consume one Horn's Tome. Oh my god. Give me Shroud Mitosis. Oh. I'm actually playing this. Okay. Alright. I see where we're going with this. I have no armor cards. Man. Could it be wrong? There's just no way. There's just no way for this to be the wrong choice. I cannot imagine it. God, I'm just gonna have unironic Shadoweater on this run. I didn't see a single Alpha Fiend. How doomed. Alright. Get me out of here, Apex Imp. This is gonna be draw first and then space for Penumbra. Guess we go right. Get multi-strike for Apex Imp. He is a large stone multi-strike unit right now, so that's good. Shadoweater and Morsel Master are on this run now. Why? I will not answer that question. I could make the hard pivot over to Glutton. No. We're gonna go Monstrous, and we're gonna go through a very awkward 2-combat transitionatory period where we realize our Lord and Savior Apex Imp and we ask him for his guidance in these trying times. And then we will either come out on the other side alive and happy, or we will be dead and I'll start a new run. We'll see which one it is. Pretty exciting, huh? I think right now my game plan is to buff Shadoweater and have him kill bosses, which is not a good idea. I'm gonna not... No, I will. Because Shadoweater is not, like, in the market for multi-strike anymore. What a horrible sentence. I skipped a bunch of armor cards as well, which is a shame, but that's more of a... Too bad I didn't know this was an Apex Imp one. Nah, no way. Alright, it's ugly. On the right side, we have 5 energy. Diligent Seraph as well. Shadoweater, like this run is just a mess. Meep. Do love this guy. One of my favorite units they've ever put in this game. I mean, it has to be favorite unit. What? Guy's insane. I love him so much. I guess I did need space, although, So, we are in a position, currently on this run, where if you show me Inflame, I'm going to click it. If a card that they put in front of me says armor on it, I'm going to take it. Ideally, we see Alloy of the Ancients. I will take any armor card, though. I will not be picky. I should have done this with Making of a Morsel. Actually, I guess I could do it here. Or do I do it to Penumbra? I can't do it to Penumbra, that's right. That's acceptable. If they show me a card that says armor, I'm going to click on it. And also on this run, I just have Shadoweater. And yeah. There he is. And he's doing great. He wins this? Like, what? What am I looking at? Shadoweater? I have these other 4s ready for this. What are you doing? He's winning. Yeah, he and Morsel Master. They just win. What? Alright, Shadoweater's broken. I think, like, maybe Shadoweater with the Morsel buffs is just unironically a good unit now. You give him 2 plus 25s, he has 100 health. Base 50 is nuts. I think Shadoweater might be good. In a position where I could take Gem Trove. I don't want to, though. I'd rather take Grovel. We only play 1 or 2 at Morsels. Oh, sick. Branding right. Let's go. Wonder if Imp in a Box can give Apex Imp. Has anyone gotten Apex Imp off of Imp in a Box? I'm gonna guess it's a no. But I wonder. Shade Lamp sounds good, but is actually just way too much morsels. I cannot space out that many morsels ever, so I'll just take Firebox. Alright. Shadoweater's just carrying me towards my Apex Imp win condition. And also Penumbra is somewhere on this run. Skip this. So I need to get enough pack shards on this one. How am I gonna do that? I do not think it's any of these. If I could bring if Branding Right didn't have the permafrost on it, I could give it Spell Chain and then I think we just win the game. Unfortunately, it did come with permafrost, so nothing great here. I guess this is a fine choice. I lose a bit of damage by giving up Morsel Master, but it's really good for my draw priority. I can also now play this unit onto middle floor if I need to and get the same value as bottom floor, which is really good. Yeah, so I can play Penumbra bottom, Shadoweater mid, and then top floor Apex Imp potentially here. This is a really strange run. Like, I've had a lot of runs back and forth, right? I've had a lot of runs that are really strong and are like just outright very, very powerful. I've had a lot of runs that are very weak and very difficult. This run is really weird. Yeah, I don't play that. But there it is. There's the 55 damage train steward also. Just keep it rolling here, I guess. I don't really want to hold over this vent. And I don't care about this guy's armor because Apex Imp is popping up here. God, if I picked the 2 armor cards they showed me in preparation for this, we would be cruising. All of these morsel cards, huh? And just not gonna let it happen? Okay. That's fine. The unit is just doing like 40 times 3 up here. Also, it's this combat again. That's really scary. I'm reasonably concerned about this one. Not overly afraid, but I feel a reasonable amount of fear. I shouldn't, really. But it's self-made Harpy, so I can't help myself. Okay. I'm probably in a position to just duplicate from here now. If I were to... If I were to just duplicate the armor cards, I think Apex Imp should take me to the win. I'm fairly certain that, if not entirely, this unit is pretty close to unusable with... I think they'd have to literally show you 0 armor cards for the rest of the run, even in Flame. Although in Flame is a little bit close to not being worth it, I guess. Go get him, Train Steward. Like, here we are, we're making reasonable, not that bad progress on this run. God, this run could have been a slaughter, though. I'm glad it isn't. I'm glad I tried to do something different, because we've already had a run of, oh hey, Apex Imp, and he's just going mad. Look at how crazy he is. Let's just slide at them, huh? I'm glad that we're doing this weird Shadoweater thing. You've shown me Holdover Crucible extension. I pick it? I need space. Ah. Yes. Okay. I'm like, missing Inferno, missing the 2-cost Inferno is a shame, but I think that this is the exception to that rule. Inferno is a really strong card, but I think Alloy of the Ancients was already double stacked. I think that's probably the way to go. Take me to the right. Show me a value stone here, I dare you. Oh. Oh my god. Value stone and Crucible extension is viable, but like, oh. Alright. I think we got there. I'm pretty sure we're in a winning position now. This is a good run because it's a very interesting question of, is Apex Imp this broken? With the mid-run pivot, will we take it? Probably. This is a little bit of an awkward position though, because I can't play Penumbra. So I guess I don't play Penumbra. Sorry Penumbra, but just nah. I'll take my 9Xer here. That's fine. There's no reason for me to play Penumbra on this bottom floor when Molting does the same thing. And there's just no reason for me to play it. And I'll Shroud Mitosis. Yeah, that gives 100 rage, or 100 damage. That card gives 50 rage? How? Every time I see some of these new cards in action, I'm just absolutely floored. Like, please, do not feel like I am overstating the absolute absurdity of Apex Imp. I played a card that cost 0 onto that unit, and like, there's no context where I can make this sentence not sound just out of this world. I play Alloy of the Ancients, and this unit gains 50 rage. This Alloy of the Ancients is the same as playing Spike of the Hellhorned at 25 energy here. What the what? He's so nuts. I cannot get over it. I don't have a problem with it, by the way. It's one of those things I often when talking about, like, because a lot of people will ask me questions about how I feel about game design and game balance in this game. And the answer to that question, like, is a card overpowered or not, that is not a question that I can really answer. It's a question for the developers to determine for themselves. You kind of, what is and isn't strong is a question not for me, but for the devs to decide what direction they want their game to go in, right? Now, at the same time, oh buddy, Apex Imp though, what an absolute monster. And Shadoweater is also here. I'm basically planning on replacing Penumbra with Shadoweater in this run. Look at him, he's a 74, 156. Like, he's thick. No, I feel like with the last Divinity's release, I would be surprised if they did not go through and buff some cards, because to me anyway, it feels like there's a lot of, like, all of the new cards, all of the new rares are very strong. Very, very strong. And I would be surprised if they did not try to bring the rest of the cards in this game to a similar power level. Or not the rest, but some of them to a similar power level. I don't know though. You know, the devs, they haven't said a whole lot, I feel like, lately. So, just have to kind of wait and see. Do not really want any of these. Hold over Dark Deal, but nah. And I have to take space if I'm keeping Penumbra. Am I? Is Penumbra so bad for this run that it's not worth it to take space and I'd be better off taking double draw? There's no way. There's no way that I can imagine this world. Temple here, temple here. I have my double multi-strike large stone Apex Imp. I'm gonna grab... I'm gonna go right. Oh, hold on. Why does my finger hurt? Quick aside, I have a... I don't know. It looks fine. Feels like I have a paper cut or something. You ever have a phantom paper cut? Anyone know anything about phantom paper cuts here? Is this the end? I'm actually going to double stack branding right here. It's permafrosted, so I can just wait for a good turn. And paying 3 energy for 40 armor, 40 rage is worth. With 5 energy, we will have turns where we can play that. Extreme stone. I don't hate this. It's fine. I think you can do either. I will do this one. Do I want intrinsic or anything else? Or no, not particularly. I'll just take the +10 piercing on Umbra, I guess. It's fine. Could do it on Vent, and that's okay as well. Lots of choices there. Take Crucible extension down in cost. Give Vent +10. Don't really want to pay for Purge. I'm okay. We'll go. Nah. Please don't be Purifiers. I don't want to see purifiers here. Thank you. Fire Wings is fine. I actually kind of forgot these had names. What have I called these combats all this time? I don't know. What combat is this? If I were to say the name of this combat, what would I call this? Ember Drain combat, probably? Do I respect this? In my mind, I feel like my gut reaction is, yeah, I should respect this, but in reality, I don't think I need to. I'm gonna just 10x damage shield here. It'd be pretty cool to see Unbroken Horn on this run as well. Able to hold on to that for a better timing, potentially. This is the sort of turn where my autopilot can get me in trouble if I wasn't supposed to play that card. I was, so it's fine. But that's the sort of turn that I'm talking about when I say autopiloting with Umbra is weird, because sometimes it's not right to play the morsel first and I'm supposed to just take the Ember Drain. Not here though, I don't believe. Poor Shadoweater. He doesn't even kill the Light Wings. What a shame. I think it's worth for me to take 1 fire damage to force this thing to die. It feels right. I'm gonna give you a lifesteal up here. Oh. Yeah. That makes sense. That does, in fact, check out. Could kill this guy in the back. I'm not going to. Shadoweater can't do anything to sweep. I think I'm gonna be honest with you here. I think in the past I was too hard on Shadoweater. I don't think Shadoweater is as bad as I claimed he is. Now, I'm not saying he's good, but the unit is not terrible. However, I think this is a similar sort of situation to how I was like, oh, how was I so wrong on Conduit Tethys? Morsels used to suck. Morsels got a lot better, and now I don't hate Shadoweater as much as I once did. I'm not gonna be like auto-picking him or anything like that, but he's doing well on this run. He's doing a lot. I think he's playable now, and you know what? That's good enough. I don't know who the boss is. Trample boss. The Umbra took almost no damage. Very slick. What am I doing? Yeah, with the morsel buffs though, I do kind of feel like Shadoweater just having... You generate like 2 or 3 attack morsels and he just kind of pops off. Although, he's not great on this combat. I will admit. Okay. Got damage shield for it though. Nothing to worry about. Apex Imp is cleaning up. I high rolled to an unbelievable degree with Capricious Reflection though. Just a ridiculous high roll. You gave me Large Stone Ember Forge. This game gave me Large Stone Ember Forge. Alright. I don't really want Furnace Tap here, although I could probably get away with it. Oh, Impish Scholar. Yeah. Too bad the Endless was on Pyre Chomper. Yeah, I duplicate Alloy here. I don't care that I go to 110. I slam it. Torch is the worst card right now. In this deck, Trinket Shop has... Hey! Also, Ashes is pretty nuts because... Oh, it gives some double summon effect here. And it'll let me bring back both of my alloys. I'm down. Maybe I duplicate my Imp instead, my Impish Scholar? Because the... Alloy takes me up a little bit more than I would like. In my mind, the Impish Scholar is endless. I'm gonna duplicate the alloy. I feel like infusing 150 rage onto a unit with 2 multi-strike, this seems like it's good enough. Oh, lost luggage. Cool. We also quietly picked up Unbroken Horn there, which is very good as well. Just a pretty all-around great run. A pretty strong one. Take a -1. We'll do our due diligence here, even if I don't want to. Alright, Diligence Seraph time. Let's go. I think we're fine. I think we're better than fine, but you know. Do I play Penumbra here? No, again we're in one of those positions where Penumbra hurts my run. Because I let Purifiers live around, and that's not something we want. So I play Morsel Master. Shade Splitter for him. And then he clears the floor. Well, he clears the back line. And that's all he needs to do. And that's acceptable. I should have torched first. In hindsight here, should have torched first. Absolutely. 100% agree. I was incorrect. I can just branding right here, and that's fine. I don't hate it. Okay. I guess I'll ping off that spell shield. No, I shouldn't, because I have Unbroken Horn. Not worth it. Not a huge deal, but also not worth it. Unfortunately, Impish Scholar doesn't get to be as high value as I would have liked here because of the consumes in the combat. Ideally, he just pops off and gives me exactly what I want back, but it's more likely that he'll miss a few. And that's okay. And go. 40 AoE damage. It reminds me of Imperialists. I think I can hold off on playing Vent. In this situation, it's fine. Sometimes I take Unbroken Horn with a holdover Vent and it's a really bad choice. I don't think this is one of those times. I think that it was still a good choice. It feels fine. Because we have Shadoweater, who is doing well. I'm telling you, dude, if there's anything to take away from this run, Shadoweater, secret, sleeper OP. Unit's nuts. Tell me he isn't. I'm gonna continue my greed. I could have gone for the Prismal Dust there, but I'm going to continue to build up the energy. This is a strategy I find myself doing more in Slay the Spire than I ever do here in Monster Train. The old build up a big energy number. Why did I play that in that order? Don't ask. I don't want to hear it. I don't need to hear that from you. In Slay the Spire, though, I have found myself a lot of times like, oh, our win condition is stacking up a bunch of Ember with Ice Cream. Ember? Energy with Ice Cream. If I get one back, it's nuts. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. That's what that is. That's out of this world. We got both Alloy of the Ancients back. That's what an Impish Scholar. Ah, the one way I can take damage. He puts a fourth enemy on the floor. I also take a curse here. It's incorrect. Like, I want to armor Apex Imp, don't get me wrong. But it's incorrect to do so. Because I'm pretty sure he wins. I'm pretty sure I've built up 24 energy, I give him 24 damage shield, And he wins. You kill this Gildedlings? This Gildedlings gets clobbered by Shadoweater? He died to Shadoweater. That's unfortunate. Yeah. Our Apex Imp does 1800 damage. That's enough. I think the Divinity goes similarly, but I do want to... So if it's the damage shield wave one, I skip Penumbra, and if it isn't, I play Penumbra, is my thinking. Penumbra's good for getting us through turn 1. So let's see it. Ah, Penumbra's dead to me. No, I'll play Penumbra because I have the vent in hand here. So we put Shadoweater mid, we put Penumbra down here. Penumbra does not live long. He's not here for a long time, but he's here for a good time. I did make this boss a little harder. Not significantly so, but a little. I think there's a world where if I play Ape or Molting Imp, I'm going to be sad. I'm pretty sure there's a world where Molting Imp saves this run from a certain doom. He does it all the time, so I don't know why I would expect anything different from him now. Molting Imp's a real hero. Yeah, Penumbra lived about as long as I expected. Top 10 reasons why Trample Penumbra is bad, here it is for you. Trample Penumbra dies turn 2 on almost every Divinity combat. And Shadoweater's also going to die. I'm going to need to do some thinking about how I stop Shadoweater's impending demise. It's probably going to be through the vent, really. Yeah. I probably just vent backline for Shadoweater and then he lives. I hope. But yeah, there's a really, really good visual explanation of why I think that Penumbra got a lot worse. Oh, he doesn't die actually. Not yet. Battlestone, Impish Scholar. He just brings back 2 alloys. So Apex Imp is now in position to steamroll. Wrong floor, my bad. They kill themselves on the spikes. Yep. Okay. I will vent this 50 damage away. Call that a day. We're not going to get a whole lot out of Unbroken Horn in this combat. That's alright. Spike's unit dies. How scary is this though? I think I play the vent first. If I vent first here, I can then finish with Antumbra Assault and then feed him some. I do miss this Crucible extension though. I shouldn't have vented first. I should have played Crucible extension first. That's my bad. Hopefully it's not the end of the world. In my mind I needed to play vent at full energy, but I did not. That was incorrect. I have never seen this wave. As long as we knock the enemies down low on the numbers here, we are gonna cruise though. And we get to full heal Shadoweater here. Ooh, baby, look at that. Not even knock them low. All we have to do is get the enemies down to 3 on the floor, and we're chilling. And I think we're chilling. I think from this position, Apex Imp takes it. Shadoweater, dude, he's nuts. I'm telling ya. Shadoweater's a sleeper OP. He's actually busted. One spell shield? I just play it twice then. Boss goes last, so it's worth it for me to do this. Save some damage. May as well. The main... so obviously this episode is titled something related to Shadoweater, but my man, he's doing a lot, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, this is an Apex Imp run. But What this really shows, though, this does show something, and this is a worth thing to learn here. Shadoweater is good. In Shadoweater's problem in my mind was always that he takes too much commitment, but this is not a big commitment. You give him a Morsel Master infusion, and obviously that's a pretty big commitment, but just if you're able to throw him one morsel per turn, he does pretty well, and anything more is just excellent, exceptional. I played morsel units against High Priest through the light. Ah. Idiot. This is the last wave. This isn't set in stone because Apex could die. You know what I want to do to combat this? I'm going to press end turn. I'm going to press end turn there. I think it's worth considering the way that this one sneaks away from me and combating it. And we're going to combat it on this turn. Nice. I'll save the Pyre health, but you just press end turn there and then you bank up 10 damage. Now there's no way. Now there's absolutely no way. There's no universe where he's not dead. Yeah. Did that matter? Nah, it doesn't look like it. But it's good to be thinking about it, right? So the question I want to answer now, as we go through the motions of finishing this run out, in my debrief for you, I want to ask you a question. When do you pick Shadoweater? I think that you pick Shadoweater if you're gonna rely on your other clan so first of all, I would never pick Shadoweater in Exile Umbra. Paying 2 energy for Shadoweater and then having to... Oh god, oh, think about how disgusting that is. Paying 2 energy for Shadoweater and then having to rely on Plink. Oh, that sounds gross. That sounds very, very disgusting. So, I think you pick Shadoweater in default Umbra secondary when your main clan has no good answer to backline. So, obviously the primary one is melting. And in this case, I mean, we overlapped and it was still fine, right? We overlapped. We had a holdover Extreme Stone Vent and Shadoweater. But, like, he's a good source for morsels, I think. Because in the DLC, the 2 Crucible, Collector, and Warden got worse. I think those units are worse now. So, like, the number of viable Gorge units just aren't great. So maybe Shadoweater has just by default moved to one of the best. Let me double check that I wrote down my... where is it? Wrote down the last one because it's still on my clipboard. I did. I will put this one on my clipboard. Yeah, alright. Shadoweater, I guess. He's good. Maybe. More testing required. You can't go off of 1, but like, dude, I'm gonna click on Shadoweater more often, I think. Alright, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave me a like. Subscribe if you want to see more. I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.